sweet dear magical friends. Willkommen to your weekly horoscope and taroscope with me, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. If you're new to the channel, I'm the remote viewer, consigliere, and mentor to all who want to learn how to read tarot cards, channel information, remote view, connect with their higher self, and achieve self-mastery through telekinesis. I offer classes, extended readings, private instruction, guided meditations, and one-to-one Zoom readings through my Patreon community benefits, patreon.com/TheFirstArteagan, TheFirstArteagan.com, and 𝚠𝚊𝚗𝚎𝚕𝚒𝚗𝚍𝚍𝚗𝚍. If you think you could be interested, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to tell the AI algorithm that you enjoy this content so that it continues to give you more of what empowers you. There are cookies and coffee in the back of the spaceship. If you are a golden oldie, some new things I've added to the benefits are benefits to the Kings and Queens tier on Patreon. They all have all of the guided meditations, which are selling as single MP3 downloads online. You can join the community on Patreon or save on Patreon's taxes and fees by purchasing the tier benefits on 𝚠𝚊𝚗𝚎𝚕𝚗𝚍𝚗𝚑. You guys are so much better at math than I am. You have seen and figured, especially like my international people, like you guys have seen that the 𝚠𝚊𝚗𝚎𝚕𝚗𝚗𝚑 has like it's like you save money. Like I guess Patreon has like taxes and fees and like bummery things. So to save some, I have some of you purchasing those benefits through the 𝚠𝚊𝚗𝚗𝚕𝚗𝚗𝚑, and then some of you are on the Patreon community. Just remember that the Patreon, buying it through the Patreon gives you access to like more of the community parts of it, whereas if you purchase through the 𝚠𝚊𝚗𝚗𝚕𝚗𝚗𝚑, you don't get to like comment on the Patreon like portal. So but you still get all of the videos, all of the content, all of the actual like benefits themselves. So just keep that in mind. I am calling this week Live Your Vision because not only do we have a new moon in Pisces, but this new moon is going to be activated quite a bit because we're going to have Saturn changing signs, and Saturn's going to be going over this like this point in your life, this point in the sky, significantly so. So it's a little bit more of an important new moon, and it's called Live Your Vision because this is about like a different perspective. This is about taking like the broadest perspective possible and seeing your life from the highest perspective, the highest, broadest, biggest perspective there is, and then living that out physically, manifesting that, grounding that down into physical reality. So you want to keep as open a mind as possible this week so that you get like the full benefits of this, because we're always working with what we have in life, and that's only going to be limited or extended as far as you believe is possible. Okay, you're not going to apply for a job that you don't really believe that you're going to get, and so you cap yourself. Okay, so even if you throw it out like on a whim and you go for something, you throw enough at the wall, some of it sticks. So this is going to be a week where you're going to like just go for it. Just go for like the biggest thing. Just go for the absolute, whatever you want, whatever is like your heart is telling you, like just go for it. Just go for it. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, take this weekend, this weekend that you're coming out of, and what were you really thinking about? What were you maybe even dreaming about? For some of you, like having astral travels or things coming up in your subconscious mind. Like, what were you really thinking about? What were you like seeing in your mind's eye? Because this week you can actually build it out. It's going to be some exciting stuff. Monday, I am calling the bigger picture, and this is it. This is the new moon happens Sunday night going into Monday. So, there's definitely been sitting in maybe like the void, or sitting in that liminal space, sitting in that, okay, so human consciousness exponentially expanded so much when the number 0 was introduced. Okay, before then and then after that moment, so much happened and so much changed. So it's almost like over the weekend, and especially Sunday night going into Monday morning, you were definitely like in the 0. It's like anything can happen, big potentialities. What's possible? What are the limits? This is about really going beyond your own self-imposed limits, going beyond your self-limiting beliefs, whether that's about your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-confidence, your money making ability, how you see other people, how deeply you can bond with somebody else, what's possible in this world, all of those things. Okay, so Monday, the bigger picture, the new moon in Pisces. Now, the only thing about this Pisces stuff that's not going to be as great for me personally, what I'm seeing is like it's the tiredness, like a little bit of like an energy drain where you're really only going to have enough energy for what's like really exciting. And then even what's like really exciting, you might have like, you just need more naps, or you just need more nature. You need more, definitely need more water, stay extremely hydrated. So that new moon, you're planting some seeds, you're seeing a much broader, bigger, deeper, more spiritual perspective in the Pisces area of your life. So you're going to come back to this. This is such a beginning. It's the seed moment, the seed in the dirt, and it's like this week you're watering it, giving it sunlight, and you don't know really what's happening. Maybe it's like it's, still underground. But this is going to be something that's just going to be a big theme in 2023 for you, okay? And that's because Saturn is going to be coming over this a little bit later on. But take this week, see what universe is bringing to you, see what is going on. Speaking of Saturn, how did you guys feel? How did that go last week with the Saturn Cazimi? What are you being shown with this? It's like we're literally wrapping up such hardness with like hard, cold, harsh reality type stuff with Saturn and Aquarius. And so that's coming to an end like literally 2 weeks from now. There's literally 2 more weeks left of this. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Let me just take a moment, okay? Personal story time. So December 2020 is when I had my PK pop, and like November, December 2020, big PK pops where like I thought it was a poltergeist at first, to be honest, where things were just moving around me. And I thought it was a poltergeist, and it turns out to be my energy just popping. And that's my student, one of my students came up with that term, PK pops, because it's called psychokinesis, but no one's going to find me if I keep calling it psychokinesis. So I hate to be the pedantic one in this moment, but what people are calling telekinesis, it's psychokinesis. Anyway, PK pops. So that was part of Saturn in Aquarius entering my 8th house, which is a psychic house, but it's also trauma and baggage and all this other stuff. So that was the beginning of me really having, like, this is one of the things that I'm going to be really working hard at for the next 3 years. And I had my breakthrough moment where I can aim now, you guys. I can aim my psychic powers. I can finally freaking aim. And it's just been 3 years. First of all, it's been my entire lifetime of practicing the wrong way, because ever since I was a kid, I saw about the James Randi $1 million TK challenge. And I was like studying, like that's what I wanted to do. That was like my life plan. I was going to do that, win $1 million, make my movie, and like the rest is history, right? And it didn't happen that way. And so practiced the wrong way anyway. Just like I thought I was meditating for a long time. I was not meditating. That's not what it really is and what it really feels like. So don't feel bad if any of this stuff takes a really long time. However, it was after I filmed, after I did that video, that Sun Saturn Cazimi video, and it was like midnight I was waiting for the video to upload from Wednesday night to Thursday, from the 15th to the 16th that happened. That video that I put up on TikTok, I think I put it up on YouTube too, where I aimed at the foils and the foils moved. But guys, that was an entire lifetime of practicing the wrong way, and then spending 3 years refining and figuring out how to freaking aim and how to like do it like that, you know what I'm saying? So breakthrough moment. So honestly, it's like such hard work, but it's always so worth it in the end. So we're all wrapping up these last 2 weeks of something that like been so hard to work, the grind of it, a lot of lessons, having to have like ego deaths, having to go through alchemizing my traumas and baggage and like all this other stuff that I had to work through first before I can get that moment. But it's like, if you really want it, it's so worth it. It's just like, and what I got out of it, like I have an appreciation for myself that It's like everything that I idealized, that I might envision for myself, and what I wanted to teach to people and give to people, and what I wanted to offer as like service and value to people is self-mastery through telekinesis, self-mastery through technically psychokinesis, and the self-confidence and the self-esteem. Like I appreciate my body in a whole different way. This is the first time I got groceries 95% fruits and vegetables, because now I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this again. I tried to do it the very next morning, and I was like, I felt it in my hands. Like I was like, it feels different. Like I was like burnt out. I'm like, oh my God, I have to recharge. I have to recharge myself. So now I'm like, now I'm on a whole different, like learning this ability, how it feels through me and myself, and tinkering with it and figuring out all these other different things so that I can teach you guys. And that's actually what ceremony is going to be on the 26th of February for my Hierophants and High Priestesses. I'm taking you step by step. There's a whole lot more to say about this, so I'm going to go into it then for all of you guys. So remember, when you sign up on Patreon or when you sign up on the Wholesome Occultist, you choose when you want to start your payment. So you don't have to wait till the 1st. You can start it like whenever. So you can, what I'm saying is you can hop on to catch it live and ask me your questions. We're going to be doing it live. We're going to be instructing. We're going to be doing it and practicing it. We're going to be answering questions, working through blockages. Hopefully I can answer everything in that session. But that's going to be Sunday, the 26th. So anyone that wants to sign up, try to sign up as soon as you know, so that I can onboard you and that I can get you prepared and ready, so that I can get you your meditation so you can start meditating as soon as possible. Okay, so you're wrapping up something in the Aquarius area of life. These are the last 2 weeks that you've got to really do this, okay? Also follow me on TikTok if you guys want to see all of the cool updates and videos and like all this stuff, because I'm just like thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. Like this is my hair like just out of the shower, and like it's combed, like I brushed it. This is just like kind of like what it does though. So but like it's just a whole new way to appreciate myself, a whole new way to like love myself. So this is also kind of like a Pisces new moon thing too, you guys, because Pisces is about like infinite love, like the deepest, most infinitest love that there possibly is. It's like one love, okay? It's like a U2 song. So, you know, this is like, let your beliefs go big, really big and really deep with the love, okay? And that's where you want to dissolve the boundaries. That's where you want to put the defenses down so that you can actually feel it. Let it penetrate you. Let that sink into you. That's really what you want to really. And that Venus Neptune, that last Wednesday, the 15th, that dreamy, beautiful, yummy Venus Neptune helped you connect to love, helped you connect to like that higher ideal, that one love type of energy. So this is like a reset with this new moon. And this is going to build over the next couple of weeks into a full moon. So you've got these 2 weeks to make some new karma for yourself and to really, you know, make something kind of concrete, because this new moon has an out of sign conjunction with Saturn in Aquarius. Now, this is interesting. So this Saturn, it was crazy because it's like I filmed that whole video where I was super like, you know, like really shaking in my little booties, and then I went and did that, and so like that day and night, like I just, something totally just like flipped in me, and I just had this whole new, guys, this, you have no idea, I cannot convey how big of a deal this is for me, because this is something that I've wanted my entire life. Like no one gets what they, like a dream come true, like as young as me. Like that's just so crazy, unheard of. Like I thought I was going to be working on this like for the rest of my life. Like I was committed to it. I was committed. I've been committed since I was a little girl. Just like I'm committed to my writing, just like I'm committed to like just like my heart, like what I love, you know? So I'm just like still, that's really where my energy is at. Like really right now, all I want to do is like write my screenplay, work on my telekinesis, and snack and watch TV and movies. So like even doing something like this, like if this feels more like work than it does, because this never feels like work because I love doing this, but like I'm like obsessed. I'm sorry. I'm just like so sorry. Okay, so let's keep going. This out of sign conjunction to Saturn. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Saturn just had this rebirth moment on Thursday. That's the Cazimi. When every planet does this with the sun, it meets the sun and it's like reborn. It gets new orders from the king. Okay, So that's the 𝚑𝚑𝚗𝚎. And so what that means is that now there's like Saturn's not as strong-ish. So it's weird. It's kind of because like the late degrees of Aquarius. So Saturn's not as able to be so harsh. You know, it's so it's kind of a good thing in my opinion to have a planet like that be debilitated is what they call it in astrology. So Saturn, like full max capacity, is super harsh and restrictive and limiting, you know, and so there could have been some of that if your sun Saturn, if you hadn't done the work, if you hadn't like tried really hard and put in all the work, you know. And here's the thing, you guys, I'm going to talk about this more. Actually, I can talk about it now because it fits into Monday. So also going on Monday is Venus entering the sign of Aries. And Venus entering Aries is going to bring up the Quentin Tarantino women and a lot of strong feminine energy, you know, women getting promoted, women getting raises, women speaking about, you know, rape in the military, women advocating for themselves, women speaking about pain and injustices and pushing the agenda forward. It's going to be that. It's going to be all of that. But there's going to be the other side of that, which is misogyny. And so people are going to try and tear women down. They're going to try to knock you down a couple pegs. They're going to say, oh, they were just checking a box because, you know, they're not really talented. They're not really qualified for this promotion to be the sergeant. They were just looking to make this person look good. Or, you know, oh, they slept their way to the top. Or, oh, it's their Nepo baby. Their dad is so-and-so. You know, they're going to do all that to discredit you and to tear you down and to knock that down. So this Sun-Saturn conjunction last Thursday, it could have brought some kind of dark realization to you or to someone else, or just even in this area of life where you want the credit, someone wants the credit, but they didn't really earn it. Because this Venus in Aries is saying, I earned it. I earned it. I worked so hard and I earned it. This is mine. I'm not letting you take it away from me. My blood, sweat, and tears went into this and I earned it, you know? And so there's going to be that, and that's going to kind of be a little bit of the last couple of weeks of Saturn in Aquarius, because you're going to have a lot of anger. You're going to have a lot of people that, I would say, let me put it this way. So that's Sun, Saturn, 𝚑𝚑𝚗𝚎 last week. It's like we see where, okay, so I'm telling you like that, I just passed that with flying colors, and some, that was like one little area there. There's a couple other areas of life where I feel like I kind of failed. Okay, so there's, you know, take the good with the, okay, I see where I need to work on that. And when I told you, my guidance last week was to really meditate on those realizations. Okay, that's like the best thing that you can do, is to learn the lesson. So when you do that, hopefully that last weekend, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as you're coming into this week, what you can carry forward for the last 2 weeks of Saturn in Aquarius. You're not going to have this for another 27 years, okay? And you're wrapping up lessons that you've been learning since the end of December 2020. What you can do is close any kind of cognitive dissonance you may have within yourself and be honest with yourself about where you did put in the work. Because part of this new moon is going to have haters. It's going to have people that are trying to discredit you and trying to take your power away. And those people are going to be the ones that did not put in the work. They didn't do it. They didn't do the thing, but they want credit for it. They put enough effort forward to look like they tried, but they didn't really try. They didn't go all the way. But they want to be able to say that they did, so that they can be a victim and say, no, it's not me, it's the government. You know, it's not, oh, it's not me, it's my parents. You know, oh, it's not me, I tried so hard, it's the aliens. You know, they want to blame the astrology, they want to blame, you know, but it's not. That's the cognitive dissonance. That's like they're trying to protect themselves from feeling that truth and feeling that pain and really absorbing it and taking it. And that's what sets those people apart from the people that are going to be getting some good karma back over these next couple of weeks. Some, you know, this is like the home stretch. And when you, so look at your victories, look at your accomplishments, look at your wisdom, everything that you've gained, whatever, everything that you've learned. because it's somehow feeding into this new start for yourself. It's not just going to culminate in a full moon in 2 weeks, like we have a full moon every month. This is going to be a bigger energy because Saturn's about to enter into the sign of Pisces. So like there's something that you're like taking with you from like what you've learned over the last 3 years, and using that wisdom to seed in this new beginning. So that's all you need to do, is to be honest with yourself, real honest with yourself, and take your victories, take your wisdom, and go from there. You are wherever you are in your developmental, cycle and circle, and then just work from there, work from that spot. Okay. So the new moon in Pisces, you're picking up because of the trine. This is interesting. This is very interesting. For the new moon trines the south node in Scorpio. So there's like a past life thing that you're picking up, a past life ability. And that's with the telekinesis, this is a past life ability that I have, because I've done a lot of past life regression as a teenager, and like I've seen into those lifetimes where I had this ability, so I knew I could do it, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it in this lifetime. There were moments where I was insecure. I'm like, can I really do it in this lifetime? You know what I'm saying? So, but like I can, and I'm just like, okay. So the trine to the south node, and that's the first thing I want to do. Whenever I learn how to do something, I want to tell everyone about it, and I want to teach everyone how to do it, and I just want to share, and I just want, So anyway, the new moon is going to be trining the south node in Scorpio, and that is, you're picking up karma from a past life. So this could be where you're meeting new people and you feel like you know each other instantly. You knew each other in past lifetimes. Or you could be developing a relationship with someone that you're very close to, and this is a karmic relationship where you guys knew each other in past lifetimes. Feels very familiar, feels very safe. And this is also a great energy for alchemizing karma that you brought with you from a past lifetime, in terms like over the next couple of weeks, and with this, honestly, with the part of this year can be about in many ways because of Saturn moving into Pisces, is connecting with what you need to release and let go of, so that you can develop a new future for yourself. So you may be faced with like decisions or circumstances, or like dynamic turning points in relationships that are very pivotally important right now, okay, this week in particular, and until March the 7th. And what you do, you're here to make a new choice. You're here to not fall where you've fallen before. You're here to not let fear, jealousy, possessiveness, bitterness, depression, negativity, all the low vibration Scorpio energies, you're here to not make decisions on that energy. So if you're faced with any decision making over the next couple of weeks and you're feeling fear, shame, guilt, jealousy, bitterness, resentment, and that's where the haters are going to be like in full force. So unless you are very technically skilled, a technically skilled energy worker, don't engage with it. Do not try and alchemize it if you're not ready to alchemize it. Alchemization with that kind of a thing, when you respond to someone, when you engage with someone, whether it's through a comment on the internet or through the barista at Starbucks, like whatever it happens to be, when you respond, you are approving of an energetic exchange between the both of you. So that's why I will always, like, my blanket general guidance will be, do not engage. Do not engage. Big boundary. Do not engage. Only technically experienced energy workers would I say to be able to engage, to alchemize. That is something that will rebound back against you if you don't do that right. If you don't do that, that's why I say technically, like the technically skilled energy workers. Okay, so. And my hierophants and high priestesses know what I'm talking about. You guys already know, because I talk with you every single week on Zoom, and so I help you work through your life stuff, like moment to moment, and like week to week. So you guys already know about that, like what I mean by that. But if you don't, just don't engage. Don't do it. Don't even, only if you're like very on your A game, on your shit, then you can engage, because you're not going to get that blowback. Okay. So that new moon in Pisces, trining, there's some past karma that everyone's working with. We're all dealing with it. That new moon sextiles, which it means it sextiles the north node. This is where our destiny lies. This is where we're supposed to be going. It's in this direction that we're supposed to be heading, and it's on that energy that we're supposed to be making decisions. Taurus energy, high vibe Taurus energy, higher vibrational Taurus energy. So you need to be making decisions this week on energy when you're feeling confident, self-assured, aesthetically inspired, like Taurus people, Taurus and Libra people, like you guys just like love beauty and like bone structure and colored palettes. Like Wes Anderson has such strong Taurus Scorpio in his chart, and he is his own aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys just have that knack. You tap in, you digitally down, you psychically download all of the aesthetic manifestations. So you want to go there, okay? And that's what you're going to be able to easily develop. So, you know, if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't look right, if it doesn't match, if it doesn't go with, if it doesn't complement, that's actually part of the guidance, is to know then that's not it. Like don't try to force that to fit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, whether you're playing around with your makeup or you're moving furniture around in your house, sometimes it's as simple as that. You know, just intuitively feel that out, and you'll come upon the right the right color combinations, or the right wording, the right choice of words, or the right, you know, characters, the right, you know, all of that. So wherever this is happening in your life, it's aesthetic, but it's also having confidence in your skills, talents, and abilities, and your own resourcefulness. So this is about, so Taurus is about like, I can do this myself. Okay, I don't really need you. I'm with you because I like you. I'm with you because I want to be with you. I'm with you because it's a choice to work next to you, to fight by your side, to do life with you, to, you know, whatever it is. But it's like, I can do it on my own. I could build a log cabin and live in it, you know, but I'm here because I want to be here, because I like you. I don't like everybody, you know. But that South Node in Scorpio is like codependent, over enmeshed, and keeping bonds together through manipulation, keeping a connection together because of guilt or shame, or you know, insecurity, or like you know, it's just like a toxic way to hold like a relationship together or anything together. So this is about like dissolving that in order to go and build something that is more elective. It's more, I'm here because I want to be here. I'm not here because I'm, you know, forced into it, or I feel guilty about it, or, you know, I owe someone something, or I owe this to my family. No. Okay, this is like, no. This is like, no, family is not blood. Family is my heart and soul, my soul sister, my soul brother, my soul family, my soul tribe. It's healthy, and, you know, there's real love there. It's not, you know, so you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if there's anything like dark or low vibe, you know what they say, that's not gonna fly. That is not gonna fly, and it'll hurt these last couple of weeks. Like when we make these decisions that act against our own best interest, we get that karma back. And so this is the chance for you to tune into your soul and what you're really feeling, to build out some new manifestations. It's new, it's different. It could even have to do with creating a new resource for yourself, a new asset, a new revenue stream, building up and investing in a new relationship, something that's just new and different, but can add some very nice like value to your life in some way, shape, or form. And this has been like a thing since the nodes entered Taurus, Scorpio. So this is not anything like we're unfamiliar with. This is we know what's going on here. Okay, that's the new there's so much always to talk about astrology, so I'm gonna move on. Venus enters Aries today by the time you guys see this, so no more Elizabeth Taylor, sorry. This is now the time of, this is the age of the Quentin Tarantino women. This is like Daryl Hannah freaking with her katana, just like, you know, just coming in and just like You know what I'm saying? This is like the age and the time over the next couple of weeks where, women are going to be. Here's the thing, like Venus is going to meet up with Chiron, Juno, Jupiter, but like let's look at that Chiron because that's going to be like, oh my God. So there's going to be something with women and pain. I would not be surprised if there's like an increase like of violence against women over the next like 3 to 4 weeks, or if women are just going through a painful period where there's like maybe there's like a woman on a public stage having like a miscarriage and talking about it, something like that. Or like there could be that, but this can also be confronting all of that, confronting and speaking out about something painful, maybe confronting like shame or anything like that, because this is also about bravery. This is about like I'm telling you, the Quentin Tarantino one with the dirty feet and the snoring. And it's like women are just, well, I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable. I have to say this. I don't care if you think this is not aesthetically pleasing. I have to look this way. I don't get, you know what I'm saying? So women are just going to be like that's just like the vibe of like what the feminine energy is doing. And Venus is cringing like as a planet. Venus was so happy being in like the Elizabeth Taylor, like coquettish, like wanting to just love and be loved authentically and have empathy and love for everyone, and just like a U2 song. When Venus enters Aries, it's kind of like a miscongeniality energy where it's like you're like half FBI agent and you're like half in a pageant show. Like it's weird. It's like, well, who do I bring out for what situation? Like which part of my personality do I bring out and use with who and what moment? And you know what I'm saying? So it'll be a little bit funky that way, but this is also going to bring out a lot of misogyny. This is also going to bring out a lot of attacks. This is also going to bring out a lot of haters. This is also going to bring out a lot of people trying to tear and knock it down, knock a woman down, and reduce their contribution, so you might be going for a promotion and you might get the promotion and everyone like gossips about you, gossips about like, oh, well, they just got it because they're a Nepo baby, because their dad is so and so. They just got it because, you know, um, I don't know, like whatever, but like expect that. And I'm telling you, it's the cognitive dissonance that they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't do the work. They didn't. And here's the thing. You have your blood, sweat, and tears that you worked hard and you did it and it was painful. You worked 2 jobs and went to school and fed your family. Okay, for like 6 years going through, you did it. Like, and no one can take that away from you. And maybe they had blood, sweat, and tears that they put into it too. Maybe they also had to take care of their dying grandparent and they got broken up with, and they lost someone to suicide and like all this other stuff. But they cracked, they crumbled, what they gave up, whatever. It's not their reason and their motivation to succeed. It became their excuse to stop or fail or give up. And that's why you're getting that hate. That's like the difference. That's the only difference between people that like win and the people that lose. And I hate to put it that way, but it's just a clear way to communicate. So don't take that like personally. That's the only difference, is that you see failure differently. You see it as motivation to keep going and to get better and to grow stronger, or you see it as your sign to give up, okay, and to stop, and that you can't do it. Like that's it. That's the only difference, is the perspective. So this is a Pisces new moon. This is a mutable energy. So this is about perspective. The quarter moon on Sunday is about perspective. So this is the time to have a really kind, loving discussion with yourself so that you can love yourself through these realizations, because you got to close the cognitive dissonance within yourself in order to keep going and win at something, or to get something done. So this Venus in Aries is going to push you to do that as well, with the Quentin Tarantino women angle that I'm throwing on it. So this is like, at parts of it, this is going to be cringy. Like, you're not going to necessarily want to You know, like no one wants to be like victim girl. Like as I say, like no one wants to be that person, or I mean, no self-respecting person wants to be that person. You don't want that as your identity. So like, you know, if you have to, if someone's like really pushing your boundary and like making you stand up for yourself, and you know all of a sudden you turn into the you know the angry Latina, or like whatever marginalization they're going to throw at you, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to get your katana out and advocate for your spot. I earned my seat at the table. I earned it, my blood, sweat, and tears. I'm here and I deserve to be here. I got the votes. I went and campaigned. I went and served my local. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but you're gonna feel cringy because you're not gonna want it to have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way, but in some of your lives, it will have to. In some of the moments and circumstances, it will have to be that way. I'd rather just be kind and sweet first up and foremost, and I am sticking to that, and I learn and I see that, you know, it's like people just think that they can just run roughshod over you, and they just like they think that you don't have the spine. So I do it backwards, and I know I'm not supposed to. I know you're supposed to start with that steely like exterior and have people earn your kindness and earn your trust. And I get it. I totally get it. I just always want to like put my heart out there first and foremost and just be kind and just see who responds. And, you know, I remember the people, how they treated me though. You know, you always, then they don't know that I have that inside of me. And then I pull it up and then. So that's this Venus in Aries is the and then part. Like, oh, now she's standing up for herself. You know, it's like, so that's the Venus in Aries that you've got going on for the next 3 to 4 weeks on Monday. Okay. Now, you may need to change your mind again about some of your actions also with Monday going into Tuesday. So I'm blending it over. Now let's go to Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'm calling it say what? Because we have Mercury squaring Uranus in Taurus, Mercury in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus at 15 degrees. So this is leading into the changing of your mind. So this is interesting because there's going to be like news or like discussions, scheduling changes, you know, that are just going to be like shocking or disruptive or disorienting for some people. But for other people, it'll probably be more exciting and exhilarating and fun and like unique and different, you know. So it's like some people are going to be with it, some people are not going to be with it, and that's just like going to be what it is. Then that's interesting. So the moon's also going to be conjuncting Neptune and Pisces at the same time. So people are going to experience this stuff like so differently. Like the split between realities is getting so sharp where, yeah, we, you know, in the before time, we can all have different opinions and like live together. And now it's sort of very, very sharply contrasted, right? So that Venus Neptune, so for the people that are really disoriented and they're really shocked and disrupted by the news or the schedule change, like whatever that is, they're going to be super, I don't know, this is like gossipy or super depressed or like whatever they want to project into the situation, they're going to have that energy to really do it. So they're going to be believing whatever they want to believe. So hopefully it's not negative, but that's what it is. Now for everybody else where this is a little bit more exhilarating, you know, you're taking the schedule change or you're taking the news or the update and you're innovating something and you're going with the flow, you're pivoting, you're adapting. It's more exciting for you. This is going to be more inspiring and spiritual and maybe even highly creative, or it could also be tiring where, okay, you're answering the call, you're supposed to drop off here and you have to go to the other side of the city. Okay, you're there, you're doing it, but you're a little bit tired doing it. And that's why I'm calling it say what, because it's like what people say and what people are doing and like the different changes and ideas and all that. It's just going to be like people are gonna be like, what, you know, what? So that's kind of exciting. But then the moon will also enter into Aries and we're like ready for action. There's a lot of bravery and pioneering spirit, a lot of that kind of energy later in the day. So that's cool. Wednesday, I am calling it strategizing. Now here's what's weird about it though, is that the moon's gonna conjunct Venus in Aries, gonna conjunct Jupiter in Aries, and then also going to conjunct Chiron in Aries. I'm not gonna do Juno. So Venus, the Venus Jupiter moon, that can be very new and independent. Again, there's like something about like this big pioneering spirit where like you're really, you have to answer to some like need, some yearning to just like do something your own way and like trailblaze. Okay, and circumstances are a lot about that. So there's that. That's really cool. But this is the only thing I don't like is the moon conjuncting Chiron, and it's a little bit like Venus in Aries, and Venus is going to conjunct Chiron too eventually. And this is like since when was it, like 2019 or 2020, whenever Chiron entered Aries, like for me, because I'm a Cancer rising, this is like my whole house, 10th house, so it's very public. Whenever that happens, whenever moon Chiron, it's like, when is this? Wednesday. So I'm going to have to make a video for Thursday. I know right now that that's the last thing I'm going to want to do, because I'm not going to want to be on camera. I'm just not going to want to be like, I always have to be like in the public or like visible, you know, like interacting like, you know, with the public, and like it's like I always just want to just like relax, or you know, I'll probably just want to practice my PK and TK and like read a book or like watch a movie or something. So it could feel, you know, like wherever this is happening for you, that could be where you feel a little bit like shy, or maybe sort of insecure. It doesn't have to be insecure. It could just be where you're like, man, I just really want to nurture myself in that area of your life, wherever that Aries area happens to be. So, you know, it's just very vulnerable. Now, the best way to deal with that, and what I do when I'm feeling that way, is I focus on my purpose. You hear me say it all the time. It's not about me, it's about the message. I focus on why I'm here, what I'm doing here. So even though Natalie doesn't want to be on camera, and Natalie doesn't want to like be on the digital you know, whatever, it's about helping people, healing, teaching, reaching my arm out to anyone who's reaching out for my arm. You know what I'm saying? And that brings my focus back, and then I get to forget about myself. That's one reason also that I like love doing my Zoom readings and my remote viewing sessions, because I totally leave Natalie's life. For those 30 minutes or 60 minutes, whenever you guys book with me, I am out of my life. I am so into your life. I am into your life. I'm into your energies. I'm looking around. I'm getting information and intel. I'm talking to you. We're doing cards. And Natalie's life is like, what? You know? So it's like a good escape mechanism. It's like an escape without escaping, sort of. So that's what I'll say on Wednesday, strategizing. Part of the strategy will be taking this pain, or taking this like, you know, little insecurity. You might feel like, sort of like I said, vulnerable. You might not feel totally confident doing this new thing, but lean into the purpose behind it. Okay, it'll take the focus off of how like wobbly you feel, and it'll put it back to like, no, this is why we're doing this. You know, maybe you're like opening up to someone for the first time about something, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do this, but it's like, no, I want this bond, and I want to deepen this bond, and this is like the moment. So I'm going to take the moment, and that's what this is about. I'm going to share. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be maybe even sharing like a personal story that could help someone, but you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about this, you know? So it's like, it could be something like that. So that's Wednesday. Mercury in Aquarius will also trine over to Mars in Gemini, and that helps the communication, by the way. But that's part of the strategizing. That's putting new plans and strategies and teams together, teams as well. So, you know, whatever you got going on, whatever you're doing, whatever you're innovating, whatever you are spearheading, it might have to do with other people or gathering people together. So that's gonna be good. That's gonna be really positive. And you know, that moon Chiron, you know, it'll touch on some like soft spot, but it doesn't necessarily need to feel bad. It could just really connect you with, oh, this is an insecurity of mine, and it's being healed because I'm doing it and it's going well. Okay, I'm getting a good response. I remember when I was doing the daily YouTube videos in 2020, when this would come up every month, the moon crossing Chiron, and like you guys are just so great. You guys are always really great. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like healing for me to do that. So it's like I don't want to be on camera, but it's healing for me to put myself there and to have a connection with my people, like, you know, looking to have a connection with someone and have a connection through the interwebs or whatever this happens to be. And that's like, it was like, it's like a healing thing. So whatever you're vulnerable about, or feel sort of vulnerable about on Wednesday, it's going to actually heal you to do the very thing that you're scared of. Long story short. And then the Mercury trining over to Mars is putting it together, discussing, planning it out, and making changes with the actions. So listen, August 2022 until October the 30th, Mars was in Gemini, forward motion. Then they went retrograde October 30th to like, I think like the middle of January or the early to middle of January. So when the retrograde was happening, we talked about this so extensively on Patreon, but that is when the reconsiderations were happening. That was when you were in the Gemini area of life, when you were like, ooh, I might want to do something a little different, or I might want to do something that I'm already doing differently. From mid-January, beginning to mid-January until March 25th, now Mars is direct in Gemini, and now we're doing the changes. So it has to be different. We have to do it differently, whether it's people, dynamics, relationships, jobs, finances, healthcare stuff, like whatever it was. Now, if you tried to do something from October 30th to the beginning, middle of January, that was not in alignment, that was not right for you, the beginning to middle of January until March 25th, it falls apart. So this can be part of that time period, the beginning of the year until March 25th, where things are kind of falling apart. Now, maybe they're falling apart outside of your control and you're losing something, or something's going away from you in your life, or you might be the one to dismantle something because you're taking agency and you're saying, this is not the way I want it. This is not, I don't want to do this anymore. I changed my mind again. So it's okay to continue to change your mind from the beginning of January until, or beginning, middle of January until March 25th. And to keep, because you're not only changing your mind, but you're changing how you do something, or what you're doing. Okay. So God, guys, we're almost done with it. We're almost done. I can't believe we've been in this 7th month Mars and Gemini. It's just crazy. Thursday, I'm calling do it to it. And that's an easy day. We have the moon in Aries sextiling over to that Mars in Gemini. So there's just like a lot of energy and drive and ambition and ideas, a lot of motivation. So just do it. Like, just do it all day. Lots of action. Do the details. You might be working on like getting things ready. Try not to like overlook the details. This could be like so much motivation and so much energy, and you're doing so much that you're like, you know, you're packing your bags and you forget to pack your charger or something. You know, try to just like, you know, you might be very excited, so just try to like, you know, deep breaths and stuff like that. Friday, I'm in love. Okay, so on a Friday, I'm calling it the future is back. Okay, and I'm calling it that because the moon enters Taurus. Yes, I love a moon in Taurus. I love a moon in Taurus. And they're gonna cross the North Node. That's why this makes sense. Moon in Taurus. Circumstances change over the next 2.5 days to help you build out this new role for yourself, this new situation, developing relationships. And it's going to be the aesthetic. It's going to be what's comfortable. This is like sitting in your favorite chair, but like building out the chair and like, you know, remembering like what you like about chairs. Maybe it's like the height of this, and it's like, well, my elbow naturally falls here and it needs to be lifted. You know, it's like stuff like that. Now, when they meet the North Node, you're going to feel pulled towards it. Like, you know what you like. You know what feels good to you. You know the turn of phrase that you really, that rings true deep in your soul. You know what I'm saying? So just go with that. You know what you like. So you're going to be very pulled towards it. You can't miss it. You'll have a hunger for it. So just follow your intuition. Be creative too. This is very, very creative, very fertile, very fecund, very artistic and aesthetic. So just go for it. You're gonna have fun. But it's the future. But it's about you know, concretizing and slowly building this out. So it's going to be fun though. I really think it's going to be fun. On Saturday, I am calling this day New Heights, and that is because we have now the moon's going to cross Uranus in Taurus. So that's like, you know, big shocks and changes. The moon in Taurus is going to square Mercury in Aquarius, and then the moon in Taurus is going to sextile Neptune in Pisces. So new heights means that having a better, bigger vantage point from which you're seeing because of the Pisces influence. So when you're doing that, so let's start with the Uranus. So the moon's going to meet up with Uranus in Taurus. So I'm going to say, see what pleasant surprises that universe brings you, because it's part of this. This is all part of what you had the end of summer, that big, you know, adrenaline shot of this North Node in Taurus energy. And with meeting again with Uranus, there could be some surprises, you know, but like happy surprises. These are surprises that are going to help break you out of a rut, break you out of a stagnant, stale situation, or help give you innovative ideas for where you're going. So it really depends on like where everybody is at any given moment. So you might still be working on letting something go. You might be still working on mentally processing something, you know, or you might be like ready to the next thing. You might be in the next era of your life already. You might be, I am like already tumbling in the future of like, with my TK and my PK, like I'm just so there already. And like with my stories, it's like I need to just like wait for everything to catch up. But like my energy is like already there. So, you know, but like where are you in some things and with other things? Because you want to take what universe is bringing you and work with what you've got there. Work with what's right in front of you. You know, like I said, I have this whole new appreciation for my body now, so I'm taking such good care of it. I had amazing vegetables today, and I just have so much more energy, and it's just like a whole new motivation from a whole new different place to take care of my body because of what I'm able to do with it, what I'm able to freaking do with it. I'm excited. Watch the TikTok for more, bring your popcorn, because it's going to be entertaining, of watching me move the foils, the pinwheels, everything. Okay, so anyway, moving on. I'm sorry I keep coming back to that. I'm just like, that's just such a big deal, and I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited. This is the next step of human evolution. Okay, I'm done. Okay, where were we? See what pleasant surprises universe brings you. The moon in Taurus is also squaring over to Mercury in Aquarius. You may have to think differently about a form of support, probably from friends or, you know, people. You want to stay as positive as possible. You want to stay as optimistic as you possibly can. Circumstances may show you where you're not getting support from friends, family, coworkers, you know, just like the people. You know, Mercury in Aquarius is like people. So, you know, there could be some changes in forms of support, and that's going to kind of lead us into, you know, this is like the part of the weekend energy, because you know, they're the haters, like I said in the very beginning, like this is going to bring, for some reason, Pisces energy just brings out like, it's like mutable, it's weird, it's like mutable energy, you know, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius. For some reason it's like a lot of that happening. So, you know, like I said, unless you're a very skilled technical energy worker, don't engage it. Do not engage. That's you approving of an energy exchange. And if you don't know how to alchemize, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to feel worse. And that's not going to help you to feel worse about yourself or your life or your situation or anything. So just have a good boundary with that. Okay, part of my work boundaries is having my Saturday, my no screen Saturday, where I don't even look at the screen. I was like, I really wanted to, I got into my TikTok on Saturday. I was like, you know, answering questions and the comments and everything. Like I said, because I'm so excited. These, now that I can aim, you guys, because for 3 years I'd practice my ability and things would move off camera. And how am I going to prove it to anybody when it's happening off camera? Who's going to believe me? No one's going to believe me. So it's just such a big deal that my aim has gotten, because now I'm going to be able to find more of my people, more of our people, and now I'm going to be able to connect with them. And we're all going to get together like little X-Men and save the world, okay? And guys, it took me my whole lifetime. And really, these past 3 years to really get to this point, there's going to be teenagers, little baby psychics watching my TikTok videos that already can do it. They just need a little bit of support, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of ethics, and a little bit of sprinkling magic dust, and then they're going to be off to the races. You know, like go free, run, ride your bike. You know what I'm saying? So those are the people I'm looking for. I'm not trying to turn anyone's mind. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. I'm there for the people that already have an interest, have a clue, have some curiosity, have an open mind, or that are looking for me. Those are the people I'm trying to find. And that's why I'm so excited, because I'm going to be able to find them now. I'm finding them now, finding more of them now. Okay. The moon in Taurus sextiling over to Neptune and Pisces, developing the higher perspective and bigger picture is how you feel better about any of the loss. So like if there is a lot that you're like purging out and you're like losing, it's not anything that you're going to miss. Okay, it really is not. And if it's, guys, even when you put up like boundaries with people and you go like no contact with someone, or life just takes you in different directions, it doesn't mean you're gone forever. It just means that they need time, you need time, they need space, you need space, and they need to just like grow on their own. And there could be a reunion, there could be a coming back together, there could, you know. So it's like, listen, we grow after we die. We continue growing. When you go to your life review process, you have the fuller understanding, you have the Pisces perspective on your life, and you understand everything, the whole meaning of your life. You understand it, you get it. So you're not done growing when you die. You're really not. That's why people come through, psychic mediums, Matt Frazier, Tyler Henry, and they have these messages for people, and they're so healing, and the healing, it can still happen. And in the communication, it's a conscious connection, it's a conscious bond when you talk to someone on the other side, whether it's an animal, a pet, or, you know, a person. It continues, consciousness continues. You can still see and think and feel after you pass, after the physical body dies. So that's the biggest perspective. That is the biggest, widest possible perspective. Okay, so Saturday, feeling that perspective is going to help you feel better, and it's going to help you cope with any of these little losses, any of the little, you know, things that are not like totally maybe as you know, maybe you'd really, it's always so much easier to just like be friends and make friends, and like, let's just do it together, let's be family, let's just come together and grow together. But it can't always be that way. People have free will, and sometimes you have to have boundaries, sometimes you have to let people go, sometimes you got to move to a different city, sometimes you got to get a different job, you know. It's like all that stuff, you know, has to happen, but it's never like forever. You know what I'm saying? It's never like with that kind of finality and permanence. So that's why anyone making decisions or performing or acting or speaking from fear or guilt or manipulation or possessiveness or jealousy and fears this week, that's the South Node in Scorpio. That's the insecurity of not having that bigger perspective and over focusing on, like, you know, losing one little thing, or like letting go of something, and like that there's no faith, there's no confidence in your skills, talents, and abilities, in your love. There's no confidence in the bigger reality of existence, and it's just like clutching on, trying to you know, glom on, and like a little barnacle, not let go. And it really reflects that, and people's subconsciouses are going to be, they're always out front and center, and then you really see that. So, you know, that's that. Sunday on February the 26th, I'm calling this day the Intel, and this is a very information-y type of a day. Okay, so on Sunday, you're going to have the moon entering Gemini, sextiling Venus in Aries, and we're going to have the quarter moon there. The quarter moon, the crisis in action. This is like where you have to do something, but in this case, it might be say something. It might be changing direction, or talking, or communication, a letter, document control, and, you know, it might be something more like that. So the sextile to Venus is nice. Circumstances have an element of that confidence that Venus in Aries has, that like I said, like that miscongeniality. Like, do you pull out the gun from your holster, or do you like flip your hair back? You know, it's like you gotta like figure that out a little bit. You might be able to a little bit better on Sunday, but that moon, that quarter moon, is saying that you might have to discuss something or connect with another person in order to progress a goal of yours forward. You know, maybe that's meeting a new person, maybe that's discussing, bringing something up with an existing person, or making changes to your schedule, something like that. So communicating, thinking, people, details, the inner, like the inner like monologue that you've got going on, how you're talking to yourself as well as with other people. Like I said, documents, signatures, anything like that. Anything that you may need to find the right words for as well can be coming up on Sunday. Let's take a look at the tarot. What's going on? Any messages? Telling you guys, life-changing, life-changing. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, so you have the everything is fine Ten of Swords, and there's like a mental stress, like there's something that you've been really thinking really hard about, and you're done. You're not going to be thinking that like intensely about it. You're not going to be worrying about it anymore. You're not going to be going back and forth in your mind about it. You're not going to be like stressing out about it. It's over. The worst of it is over. It's done. You can let it go. Okay, it's over. Oh my God. And it's because you're starting new. You're starting over, a brand new clean slate for yourself. Okay, with the Fool energy. So this is a very new first step on a whole new first big new path for yourself. Okay, now this is also very blessed. So if you are doing anything very new, taking a risk, doing a new investment, anything like that, you could be very blessed with it. Makes a lot of sense that you would be so like tweaking out like mentally about it, like do I, don't I, will I, won't I? But this is fine. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be, oh, she has blue hair. That's right. Look at that, is cool. Okay, there might even be like a little friend, or like a little, you know, like because she's got this little dog here, there might even be like like a little helper or something to kind of reassure you. Ooh. Two more major arcana. We're going to stop right there. The Hierophant and the Moon. So this is interesting. This is almost like you could have been worried about, maybe there's something going on like at work where there's like a changing of the guard, and you don't know if like the new bosses are going to be receptive to your requests and your questions, and you know if they're going to receive you or what they're going to say. So there might actually be changes happening at echelons and tiers that are far above you, and you might have been worried about that. You might have been worried that what is the new regime going to do? You know, some they bought the company. Are they going to get rid of our department? Like what's going on here? But this is interesting that there really is like a tide turning here, or like some kind of cycle happening with this like institution, or maybe the board are passing resolutions and they're going to have reverberating effects on the membership, you know, that kind of a thing. Let's see, bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands, the World, and the Ace of Swords. Victory! That's massively positive. Okay, and even with the World here, this is the end of an era and the beginning of an entirely new era. I'm sorry I keep talking about it, but this is the future of the evolution of humanity. It really, really is. Like it's... Okay, I'll stop. I have to stop. Okay, so this overall, this is the end of an era and the beginning, a very strong beginning of a new era. Guys, I'm gonna be moving cars, I'm gonna be moving trains, I'm gonna be moving buses with my mind. And guys, so crazy. So, okay, Ten of Swords, talking about like breaking cognitive dissonance. So I saw my friend over this, it was a busy weekend, saw my friend over this past weekend, and pizza and cabaret, and he doesn't believe in anything. He doesn't believe in anything. He is like such a skeptic of everything. And for the past 3 years, whenever I talked to him about me struggling with my TK powers. He's like, that's because it's not real, Natalie, you know? And I mean, he doesn't say it like that. And he's like a super Capricorn too. So, you know, but he just rattles off whenever I talk about it, he just rattles off about like Harry Price and all these famous frauds and fraudsters and like all these like scammy 18th century scam artists. And I'm like, I'm not getting it. So I show him this video and his mind is broken. He's like, what's the trick? I'm like, I moved it with my mind. And it's like this whole thing and he cannot figure it out. He keeps trying to figure it out. And I'm like, bruh, like it's like, you know, like, okay, all those Harry Price people, like that's them. But like, you know me, like you've known me since I was like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like I've only been talking about this like my entire life. You know what I'm saying? And it's different. It's different when people know you and you say something like that and you put a video out like that. It's different. Like all the people that like know me, like they all know that I am fucking moving shit with my mind. You know what I'm saying? So his mind, his cognitive dissonance, he just needs time to process it. That's all. He just needs time. And I told him, like, I'm gonna live stream this. I'm gonna have different camera angles. I'm gonna be doing it under like scientific conditions. I'm gonna be doing it in person. I'm gonna be getting stronger and I'm gonna be doing it with bigger, heavier objects. Like I'm just like laying this whole thing out for him. But I'm like, he has one eye. I said, I am looking you in your eye and telling you I am moving things with my mind. Okay? And he's just like, you know, so that's gonna be like something for you is like, you know, I'm sorry to keep talking about that, but that's just like, I can't talk about anything else. It's like the biggest deal in my life right now. And then so everything's gonna be about that for I don't know how long. I'm sorry. This is not about me, it's about you. But take a look at that. So there's some mental, like, you know, happening mentally for you. Maybe you were trying to break act 3 and you were trying to like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen? And then you're like, I got it. You know, it could even be something creative. You're like, how am I gonna, I need a rhyme for orange. Oh my God, nothing rhymes with orange. And you're like, Eminem, a door hinge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just figure it out. Like you just break through to the other side, you know? I was talking about that. So the overall Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, this is a powerful breaking through, like the atmosphere, like Superman breaking through with the atmosphere. Okay? This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is like entrepreneurial. This is creative. This is smart. This is like a freaking Aaron Sorkin thing. Okay, this is like witty and like the back and forth. And then the world is very, how would I put this? The world is really, really, really like, God, my hands are so long. But it's like an applause. It's like your graduation. You are graduating something, and because you work so hard, maybe 20 years or something, like a long time, you're taking that graduation and it is fertilizing the next era of your life. And it's the quality of that, the quality of who you are, who you had to become. And that's why it's different. The people like winning and like losing, that's all it is like the person inside of letting yourself become the person that wins, that gets what they want, that gets the raise, the promotion, the corner office, whatever it is. For me, it's moving things with my mind. You know, maybe it's for you, it's like, I can't even think of anything else. But like, that's what it is. It's your thing, you know? Let's start opening this up. I gotta show you guys my favorite London, okay. What's everything is fine, Ten of Swords telling us? What do we need to know about it? Ooh. I'm only taking the ones that flipped upright. This is like a big lump. We have here the Three of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. You know what I'm feeling with this? This feels like with the Three of Cups, this is always like caring what other people think of you, caring what other people are saying of you, caring about like being part of the in club, caring about, you know, being accepted, caring about like, and because of the Two of Pentacles, it's almost like you want to be, in two different groups. You want to be, you want your coworkers, your employees to like you, but you're a mid-level manager, and you also want your bitter, jaded mid-level manager people to like you too, and you're like in both worlds, and that's really stressing you out, as an example. So it's kind of like that's it doesn't fit anymore. It just doesn't. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Let's take a look at your new beginning. Tell me about the Fool. Thank you. Did you see that? Oh, you have a double Ace of Wands. This you already know. This is just your confirmation. This is already exciting. This is already new and different and like revelatory. This is already like your next brilliant idea. This is your next revenue stream. This is your next like business idea, or like a big beautiful friendship opening up. This is like you're getting creative with your recipes. You got like some new delicious recipe. You're gonna write your next recipe book about it. This is like you go where your passion is like flowing. And let me know about the $1 million telekinesis challenge. See, and this is the thing. I'm like Christian Bale right now. I am training for American Psycho, even though it's like not there. I don't care. I'm writing my scripts. I'm practicing my telekinesis. I don't care. I'm doing it because I have to. I can't do anything else. I can't write any other stories into my stories. I can't do anything else but like do what my heart wants to do. And that's you. You're doing that. You're doing that. For me, it's that, but for you, it's like something else. Okay? And if you want to say, Natalie, are you channeling yourself? I can relate to everybody. There's no human I cannot relate to. Why? Because I would always rather understand than judge. I judge judgy people, okay? I can't stand to judge. I hate judgments. I absolutely hate it. I would rather understand people and feel for them and really feel what it's like to be them because of my remote viewing. And I already know what that's like because I already do it. I already feel your feelings in my body, okay? I already know it. I already feel other people's lives. I already connect to people on such a deep level. So for me to be judgmental, it doesn't make any bloody sense. So any reading I do, I will feel it, okay? What are you so excited about? You tune into your own excitement. Like what for me, it's like writing my stories, okay? But for you, like, is it dancing? What the Lizzo's big girls. The girl was saying she's like, I just love dancing. I didn't ever think this would ever be possible, but I'm so glad that I danced so much because it prepared me for this audition and like all that stuff. So you just gotta be Christian Bale, lift your weights, practice to be Patrick Bateman, get your return some videotapes lying down and just like do that. For me, it's my $1 million telekinesis challenge. It's going to appear out of nowhere. It's going to be something. And it may not look exactly like how you think it's going to look. Like maybe it's not going to be like the James Randi thing, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, just do it. Just do it. What's the moon in the Hierophant? I should do one of those videos of like how to read tarot, how to interpret tarot card readings, but I don't want to. The Knight of Pentacles, wow. So there is like a changing of the guard, but it's been slow. It's like if someone's leaving a position, they've been like dragging their feet, or it's like they're leaving after 6 months or something. So the things are changing hierarchically. You know what I'm trying to say. But it's just taking some time. But this is like divine timing. So this could be the moment when because you have the world here, this could really be the end of an era. this could really be the end of some kind of era in a marriage, in an institution, in a job, in a company, in your belief system. For some of you, this is morals and your integrity and your belief systems, where it just doesn't make any, you've outgrown the person that used to believe those things before. You don't have to be who you were 10 minutes ago. Okay? So this is all very personal. You're going through your own little renaissance moment. Then let it happen. Just let it happen. Let your inspiration just like take you where it wants to take you. Why does this keep happening to me? Just let your inspiration just like take you wherever it wants to take you. If this is creative, if this is financial, if this is an idea, if this is, moving to a different city, if this is, but it's like someone who's really worried about what people think. And guys, I went to 6 different grammar schools in 8 years. I haven't cared, like genuinely cared about what people think of me since like 7th, 8th grade. 7th, 8th grade. I remember the moment. And that's the thing. When there's an emotion that's so charged and you make a decision, you always remember that. You always remember that decision. You don't go back on it. Because of the resolution, the resolve that you have within yourself, like, I will never do that again, or I will always do this from now on. You know what I'm saying? Like those kinds of moments. I have a moment like that. And I also have a moment of when I promised myself I would never be jaded, because it's when I learned what the word jaded meant. And it was like horrifying to me. And because I'm like very idealistic, like I really think like if I did talk to a therapist, I'm pretty sure that they would tell me that I have an overinflated sense of justice, but that's besides the point. This is like, so I'm just saying that to help you, because I'm connecting with someone that like you do care what people think, or you are going to stop this week. And I'm telling you, I've been free of that for like decades, and like it feels good. Like I read about, it's called something when you go to different schools like that and you go to different towns like that. I read it in an article about serial killers, but like it applies to me, and it's like it's like a dissociative thing. Like you disconnect or you dissociate, and it's like it's like a freedom thing though. Like it's like you don't care. But like genuinely, you really don't care. I only care about the people that I connect with. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like to find them, I think I go about it like in a weird way. So I'm trying to help you out here. I hope some of this is helpful. Just take what works and discard the rest. Discard the rest. But you're like, don't try to like, I don't know, like stay in groups that like, I don't know. Like I don't know. You'll know. Okay? It's like don't try to, and I used to do that. Trying to like and it doesn't work. The otherness is like so loud, like you're different. You're a different animal. You're a different breed. Your commitment is being tested. Which way you gonna go? Your commitment is being, I'm telling you right now, nothing will come of this situation. Nothing will come of this situation. Mother of pearl. Nothing will come of this situation. Void of Pars moon energy, and your commitment is being tested. If you are trying to hold on to this commitment thing, and it's like slipping through your fingers, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. Your dreams need a practical, see, this is the week that you're not supposed to try and continue something that is like dead. This is the week to build the practical stuff behind your plan. Your dreams need a practical plan. That's all. Okay? That's the time to build. Love you guys. Take very good care. I'll check in on you guys next time. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.